You're under contract to sell your house. Congratulations! But how do you get from contract to close in 7 easy steps? That's what we're talking about today, and we're starting right now. I'm Sherri Green with Coldwell Banker Realty. Welcome to Thursday Thoughts, a weekly series on the buying and the selling process and the real estate market in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia. Congratulations, you are under contract to sell your house. It's an exciting time, that is for sure. And there are several things that you want to do to make sure that you keep the contract on track to closing, that you ensure a smooth escrow period, and that you ensure a great settlement day. Let's start with number one. Tip number one is to stay in very close contact with your title company, settlement company, or closing attorney. There will be lots of last-minute things that they will need from you to ensure the title work is completed and the deed is transferred from your name to the buyer's name. Getting them the answers that they need will help make sure the process goes smoothly on their end and everybody is ready to go when it's time to sign the documents. Number two is to quickly have all of the items that you have agreed to during the home inspection process repaired. If your buyer did a home inspection and there were items that the two of you negotiated to be corrected or repaired or replaced, get those done as soon as you can. You do not want to be worrying about those all the way to the closing table. Tip number three, it's time to pack. Hopefully you've already done this. There's a good chance that when you listed the home for sale, you decluttered, packed some seasonal items, and packed away a few things that you don't use on a day-to-day basis. If you did, congratulations, you are halfway there. But starting the rest of the packing process early enough during your escrow period is going to ensure that you have enough time to be thorough, organized, put things in boxes by room, and pack gingerly enough so that everything arrives in mint condition at your new home. As you pack up and move things out of the house, you want to be careful not to leave any big marks or a hole in the wall for the new buyer as you depart. Tip number four, cancel all of your utility bills. These include things like gas, electric, cable, and Wi-Fi. Call them about 2 weeks before your closing and give them your actual closing date per the contract. As a seller, you might be signing your documents early, but that's not the date that you give to the utility companies. Your utilities, aside from cable and Wi-Fi, have to stay on all the way through the escrow period until the day of settlement. That's so the buyer can check everything during their final walkthrough. The buyer is going to call all of these utility companies as well and set up their new accounts for the exact same day. It'll actually be a very smooth process. Now, cable and Wi-Fi you can turn off as soon as you want to. They will set up an entirely new account with the new buyer based on their preferences. I've got one caveat to that, and that is in DC, the title company will cancel the DC water bill. They will pay the final bill and they will ensure that the new house account is set up in the new owner's name. So that's one thing you don't have to do. Tip number five, make sure you change your address with the United States Postal Service. You don't want to miss any of your mail. This is an easy process. You can either go into the post office or you can do this online. I would do this 2 weeks prior to moving so that the Postal Service has plenty of time to get that address changed in their system. The other thing you're going to want to do is make sure that any automatic deliveries also have that new address. Think Amazon, grocery stores, or any other online retailer you use. 2 weeks before you move, sit down at your computer and go to every online retailer that you use and change your address so that you don't miss a delivery. Tip number 6, clean. I know, I told you to clean when you listed it, and now I'm telling you to clean on the way out. In the District of Columbia, it is required that you leave your house broom clean, but it's also a really nice gesture to leave it cleaner than that. Hire a professional who can come in after you've moved out your contents and give everything a really good scrub. The buyer loves your house, that is for sure, but I suspect they don't want your dirt. Tip number 7 is to leave a new owner packet for your buyer. What's a new owner packet? It's all of the things that buyer is going to need to access, secure, and maintain the home. Think about it like this. You've got keys and fobs and remotes that work the garage, that work the gas fireplace. The new owner is going to need all of those elements. One thing that's often forgotten is the mailbox key if you have one. It's a great idea to make a list of all of these items early in the escrow period so that you don't forget anything that the buyer is going to need. Put them in a plastic bag and hide them somewhere in the house so that your movers don't find them and pack them. I actually had a seller once whose remote control to the garage got packed and shipped to their new home. And they were on a crazy mad scramble the final days of their escrow period to find that garage door opener and ship it back to the buyer. Another piece of that welcome packet is a list of all of the service providers that you have utilized while you own the home. Think of your HVAC company, your plumber, if you have a pool, the pool company, a landscaper, any of the partners who have helped you maintain that beautiful home. Make sure you leave a list of all of those resources for the new buyer so they can keep up with the maintenance. The last thing to leave in that buyer packet is the contact information for the building manager, the condo, co-op, or HOA president. There's a good chance the buyer is going to have some questions about their new home or their new community, and having that contact information at the ready is very, very helpful. If you like this video, make sure you watch this one next. It's also about selling your house. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe.